What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Zole's Reviews. I'm Zole, and today we're going to be taking a look at a long overdue set for me to make a review on. This is set number 71854, Cole's Mission Mech and Dragon Zane. It has 364 pieces, 3 minifigures, including that Dragon Zane, just like said on the box, and has a retail price of $34.99. This release as a part of the Dragons Rising Season 4 wave back in January of this year. And like I said, I've been meaning to do reviews on the rest of the January Dragon's Rising wave. Legacy isn't really my big thing. So here we are finally taking a look at this set. And like I said, it's long overdue. I've meant to make a review on this for about a week now, ever since I started the channel. Probably since the spinners, actually. There you go. That is probably when I was going to start making Dragon's Rising. And then we got more FNAF, we got the Legacy sets and stuff. But here we are now, finally taking care of this, because this needed to be done. Well, not really needed, but I felt like this should be done. So, let's waste no more time and get right into this review. Seeing as the set is literally called Cole's Mission Mech and Dragon Zane, I feel like we should talk about the main man himself, Draconus Zane. Because LEGO feels like he is so important that he should be having a spot in this set and the title. Which, I mean, I can't argue with. The Draconus suits are really cool. I love them all. But I kind of find it funny that he literally gets half of the name when none of the other Draconus suits in any of their sets get that. But yeah, it is pretty cool. Just seeing something unique like that. Anyways, he includes... Oh, well, there goes his wing. He includes the Draconian wings, recolored in white this time, to show his, white body. We got the new rubbery tail element for all the Draconus warriors. We have his dual-molded mask with that, light blue for ice, and then white. We have his Dragon's Rising face print here with his, stern face, which we can see how that looks like. Like that. Well, not really. With a stern face and then his brand new Draconus eyes. He has that oversized shoulder pad, a normal sword, some light blue arms, and then his scales on his body are shaped to be like little ice shards, which is cool. He has a silver belt since they've been incorporating more and more dark gray. And then those nice golden toes that almost all the Draconus, I think all of them have. But I really like all the little details they added with this figure. They've done really well with the Draconus suits so far. And then here he is with the shoulder pads and wings and stuff removed. Oh, well, we should probably take off his tail too. We'll take a look at that. I remember if I've really gone into depth with it. But yeah, you can see all of his great details. And then as for the actual little tail, it's a rubbery thing, just connects like almost all the other tails. Can't really bend it any other way though. Here's the underside. So yeah, it's a cool molded piece. And then here's his shoulder pads with the wings, if you're wondering. Just on clips, nothing really too special included with that. Next up, we have Draconus Protector Cole. It's basically the same thing as Zane, just includes his color scheme. You can see his scales are more of a rocky texture to show all the rocks, which I mean you literally see on the mech. He has these orange arms, and then my favorite part about him probably it went flying is his minifigure accessory, because it's the same hammer, at least as far as I know about, from Ninjago Core. The only one of the 3 Ninjago Core sets I got was Cole's Earth Dragon Evo set. I think that's the name, don't quote me though. And he came with a hammer, literally the same build, just different colors. So I really like how they're keeping that same aspect here too, because I really like that hammer. And I prefer hammers for Cole over the Scythe of Quakes, as seen with Cole's Spinjitzu mech, which we'll compare it to the giant golem back there in a few minutes. But yeah, he uses a black bandana. We can take that off to see his face prints. He has his hairpiece, of course. He's just got his normal movie-style face print, because you can't really have the Draconus eyes here. And then just taking off his armor. You can see, like I said, that stony rock texture scales if it gets in frame. And then same for the back here, too. Overall, 2 great figures for the Ninja, with that being Cole and Zane. Like I said, they're really nice figures. I just do kind of wish that, like, Cole didn't only come in 2 sets, because Cole, I believe, is the ninja I have the least. Cole is also my least favorite ninja, but this is probably my favorite suit for him. So it's kind of like a fair trade-off, to be honest. Last up, we have Pyther, or, I mean, the Acid Snake, or Acid Monster, whatever you want to call him. So his official name is the Acid Monster. I call him the Acid Snake, because, I mean, just kind of look at him. He's a snake. He comes with this beautifully molded head that I talked about in the treehouse. I don't really like the gills, though, but I do like that translucent color. I like his staff with a little tooth. It's the same exact figure. We got that little necklace with the pendant. And then we got the original snake tailpiece, which is my first time ever getting it. It's that rubbery aspect. Here it is if you've never seen it. You can mistake this for, like I said, Pythor. Just in general until you actually look at the front print. And I've actually seen people literally say, oh my goodness, Pythor's back? No, these are just monsters of, like, hatred or something is said in one of the trailers. Overall, nice villain for anyone to fight. A little more on the higher quality side. But I do wish that the set came with one more villain. Maybe, like, an earth monster for Cole to fight, because it's, like, the evil form of his element. Or, like, another mutation monster, because mutation monsters are the least amount we get. Well, no, they're tied with the acid monster, but I feel like we should get more mutation monsters. I feel like they're really cool, in my opinion, at least. I've let you guys go too long without seeing what you really want to see from Ninjago, from this wave, from one of the best sets, the gun. Yes, it includes a gun. Let's take a better look at this, to be honest. So yeah, with the spring-loaded shooter now inside the actual spring-loaded shooter, you can see it's a really well-made, like, earth gun. You can hold an extra one on the side. I only have one because I just keep mine in a plastic baggie. But it's done really well to, like, show the earth element. And even the grays kind of work on it, because they kind of, like, textured it in. If you don't know how spring-load shooter works, I mean, you just press down on that, and it just launches. If you launch really far, you get 2 in this set, I believe. But like I said, I just keep them off to the side. But yeah, it is a cool little play feature for you to, like, oh, and I broke off his thumb. But yeah, it is a cool little play feature, and it is, I believe, the first gun of Ninjago. Do not quote me. Lost the spring load shooter thingy. But yeah, I think it's like the first official gun. Anyways, continue on the theme of the weapons included. We get this giant molten magma blade. It's cool, but it feels something more like Kai would have. And then we get this staff that kind of just feels like Monkey Kid. There's a little orange bandana, tip, whatever you want to call it. And then a little more rock on there. As you can see, they all have these connections, so you can all plug them into his back. We'll get to that when we get to that. Alright, so no more messing around. For the mech itself, it is a chunky boy. He's tall and he's big. We'll start off with the arms. You can see it includes that brand new leaf piece used in gold here for armor. And that's really nice to see. Even though he kind of feels a little weird at some angles, but at other angles he looks perfect. So it's really just like how you look at him. And of course, this is all very weird, as this isn't what Cole's golem form looked like in the show. But when we got the trailer, a new one for Season 4, it actually does look like this. So my theory was always he's going to, like, evolve from it. And in my personal lore, story, and stuff, I'll probably make videos about it at some point, because I'm a little bit of a story writer myself. It's going to be Cole gets his mech, and then he, like, fuses with the mech to create that, because it has similar proportions and aspects. We'll get to that towards the end. But yeah, overall really cool with all the, like, rock textures and details and stuff. He's got this little peg here for his weapon. He's got, of course, those, like, new mech joints, but they cover him up really well, except for the legs. He does kind of, like, do the splits, but he's got thinner legs, like you can see right there, and it's also just how I'm moving them. He does have posable fingies, another peg for a weapon or 2. On the back, he has pegs for weapons storage. The guy's movable head, we'll get to that. On the other arm, it's basically the same thing, just this time without that peg on top. Getting to his legs, they're practically the same. We got some of the ingot pieces. We do have a clip for Cole's weapon. It's attached on a ball joint, so you get a decent amount of posability. So we got his leg, the bottom of his leg, and his foot. I really like his foot with all the magma and rock and stuff. They overall did a really great job with all of his proportions and stuff. Coming up to the chest, you can see it kind of makes a little face. I don't know if that was really intended, but these flaps can move out, they can move down, they can move all the way up. So yeah, I don't really know what the intended purpose of that was, other than just detailing. It does use one of that like new armor piece, and then that's the little cockpit for Cole. Even though this is technically Cole, I'll put him in there in a bit. Now, taking its head off, it does use one of these like shield pieces. Actually, looking at it, you can see it's very elongated, different to Cole's actual head. But like I said, I think it's okay. It adds some detail to it. Looks really cool. We do have a printed piece here, as well as his little eyebrows and this horn. You can kind of just like pose it a little, have it back, have it up. That's what it looks like from the top down. Yeah, overall, it's a really nice little head, and then you can move his head up and down. Sadly, the only problem is he can't move it side to side, so you kind of just gotta move the mech. So I feel like it has posability, but I feel like we kind of want more posability. That is really my only gripe with this set, is maybe an extra minifigure for the $35, and probably give him a little more posability. But seeing as this is now the standard way to have the mechs, it kind of makes sense, even though this is more Cole than a mech. To put Cole inside his mech, all you gotta do is take off his weapon, put on either of the two clips on each side. So that's another little weapon for his mission mech. Open the cockpit, and then there's two ways to do this. You can either have Cole seated, or you can stand him. I'll show you both ways. So what you do is you just seat him in there. Doesn't really attach the best. But then boom. Now you can see there's kind of a gap, especially from the sides. You can see his hair. But like from the front, it looks perfectly fine. When you go a little bit more top down, yeah, you get to see more and more of the gap and stuff. So while it does hide his skin, which is definitely something you want to do, since this is Cole, it's not a mech, it does add that gap. So if you want to have him the other way to try and fill in the gap, I mean, now the gap's filled, basically, from a lot of the angles, but now you can see a little bit of his skin, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, get orange and stuff, and his hair kind of just looks like an extra part to his neck. I mean, overall, it's really cool, though, how they've done this, and it looks awesome. Attaching the weapons is really simple. You just take the sword and just put on the clip on the back. There's two ways you can attach the gun. Let me just take off this that thing. You can attach it like that, and now he's got like a jetpack. But the actual way you're supposed to do it is not drop it. You're supposed to take the hole on this side and attach it like that. And then last but not least, you would take the staff and just attach it to whatever side. So now he's completely decked out with weapons. But that is only on its back. When you actually put all the weapons on him, he becomes even stronger. So here he is with his weapons, a little more of an action stance. When I was displaying him, this is what he looked like. But yeah, I mean, he's alright. Definitely not the best Cole mech we've gotten, but like I said, for the price and what we're working with, it looks really cool. And then, like I said, you can put any of the weapons on that clip there. I'm just not really going to show it. Well, I'll show you the staff. Hold on, let me do that. Here he is, backed up a little more completely in frame now with the staff and all the weapons. So overall, it's a really nice look for him. He's a really good mech, but really the posability is the only problem that I have. Now, comparing them to the other Cole mech I own, I don't have the Titan mech. Never probably going to get any of the Titan mechs. I mean, mechs are cool, but like I said, Titan mechs aren't really my thing. Comparing it to the other mech, you can see it's a lot bigger. You can definitely see that $15 difference. Even though it's a lot less bulkier and taller, it uses a lot more pieces, and the weapons are upgraded and stuff, so you can definitely see the $15 extra. But if you had to choose one, I mean, it's really just up to the figures. Do you want two figures included with the Cole Spinjitzu mech, or do you want three? One of which literally being so awesome, he gets his name on the box. But, I mean, then again, one is literally Golem Cole, while the other is Mech Cole, so really up to personal preference. In all, I really enjoy this set. I'll probably have to give it I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. I love how it's changed what I think it is. But yeah, it is a cool set. I really enjoy it. But I don't really justify giving it a 10 out of 10. And I don't really justify giving it a 9 out of 10 because of the posability and stuff. So yeah, 8.5 is probably my solid ranking. If you enjoyed this review, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm going to be doing reviews of the Ryu set that is up next, and oh boys, there's a lot to talk about him. Same when it goes to finally reviewing Rontu, and then Jay's Buggy. So please consider subscribing if you don't want to miss those. Other than that, thank you for watching the review. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.